All right, so once you've got your PHP server running, then you can start setting up these manual testing setups. And so first here you make an HTML form, and let me just shrink this and bring up my command line. There, all right. So I've already got these set up on this cloud machine. So if I go to var www.html, which is where Apache puts these files, I can see this first file, which is sc201.htm. All right, this is a very simple web page that just takes one parameter called name, and it sends it to a form, s201.php, which is the script. And if you look at that, that is also incredibly simple. If anything comes in called name, if nothing comes in called name, it complains. And if anything comes in called name, it echoes it back. So this is the very simplest kind of form you could have. So I can view that form here. In your VM instances, you'll find the public address of your virtual machine, 34 dot something. And then you just go to HTTP at that address. And if you first just go to that address without anything after it, then you'll see the Apache test page, which is what you normally see when you have a freshly installed Apache server. And if you put in the name of your PHP, which is sc201.htm, then you get this page, and you can put in a name like Fred, and it will say, hello, Fred. But of course, that means you can put in script alert /script. If it's not filtering the input, which this is not, then you can inject script and it will run that script. So this is reflected cross-site scripting, probably the most common security flaw on websites, and really quite dangerous, although most websites won't fix it if you tell them, don't care, because it doesn't directly take over the server. It doesn't directly reveal details from the server. What it does is it lets me bounce attacks off your server, which then hit customers. And your company will then be blamed for it and will appear in Google block lists and antivirus block lists. They'll tell you there's malware on your site, and yet if you scan your site, there is no malware on your site because I'm bouncing the attack off your site. And that's why, and this is a part of almost many, many takeovers. This is one of the many flaws you use. And the other thing you can do, of course, is steal cookies. If you've logged in with a cookie, I can bounce a script that will send your cookie to a third party. And so that's why this is pretty serious. That's why I put it here, although some people think it's got a bad reputation, cross-site scripting, not worth fixing, but I don't think that's the modern view. It really is worth fixing. So the point is, once you've made a site that's vulnerable, then you go here and you go to my testing form, which is here. This is just a simple online scanner. And so what it does is you give it your page and it's going to verify that it is vulnerable and then give you a flag. Then you have to patch it so it's no longer vulnerable, and it'll test for that, and you have to patch it better. And this is the way almost all these are. So first you make a vulnerable page, then you fix it. The simplest fix is just remove less than and greater than signs. If you filter them out, then the script won't run anymore, and that will fix most of the scripts. A much better fix is to encode them. So you can put in special characters, and it will repeat the special characters. So you could have a name with like an apostrophe or something funny in it, and it will just repeat them encoded so the browser no longer treats them as special characters. And that's the second fix. And they're almost all like this, and these are the ones I got essentially from this book, which I highly recommend. If you want to give your programming team a class or a reference book, this is a great book by Lauren Konfelder. I found this is what I used to develop this series of projects. It goes through the fundamentals of patching the top vulnerabilities, and this is an argument I've been having for 15 years. I think your coding classes should include, if I'm teaching Python, here are the top 3 security problems. And here are the top 3 security, whatever language I'm teaching, there ought to be a chapter. Here are the main security problems and how to fix them. And this is a place you could go to find some nice, reasonably, not too complicated explanations of those problems and how to fix them. So there's a whole series of these: code injection, SQL injection, local file inclusion, the main one you get from PHP, hard-coded secrets, and integer overflow. These are all the main vulnerabilities, and you can practice them one by one here and fixing them. And I encourage you to do so. Let me stop this video.